Then what you've got is the gift number. And the gift number, again, tells you what you've done really, really well in lots of past lives over and over and over again. And in this particular case, the gift number is a 6. And so the 6 again is St. Hildegard. And so you think of St. Hildegard, and she was the musician artist, but the nun, and you know, she was in that nice little neat format. So this person's gift is that they have been a very powerful spiritual seeker, but in a very traditional format. They could have been celibate, they could have been a Puritan, they could have been a Mason, they could have been, but they were doing a structure, right? They were doing some sort of structure. So this person loves to have a religion, a book, a system to work with. They want a religion to follow, because then it takes pressure off of them. So, but what's interesting is that this person has a gift that they've been very service-oriented, very loving, very kind, very giving, a great listener, very quiet. You like to think of the 6 as a hermit number. So it's like a monastery. Think of the monastery again, St. Hildegard being the monastery, taking vows of silence. They like silence. They like that quiet and that peacefulness and that stillness. But their path in this lifetime is a 7. So the path of 7 is about boundary strategies and structures. Well, this person was learning boundary strategies and structures in the last lifetime, okay, and they have it as a skill, but they've got this path still here because this 6 says they followed everybody else's structure in another lifetime, and now in this lifetime they have to find their own structure. So it's sort of like, okay, you did it this way, that you did it everybody else's way over and over again. Following the rules for this person would be pretty good. They could follow the rules really, really well. But the path would be, I have to find my own rules. I have to figure out what works for me. Well, that seems scarier because I could make a mistake. And I told you how 7s, they don't like to get out of their box, right? If I step out of the box and I do it wrong, I could make a mistake and it could be really a problem. And then I would think I'm bad because the 6 is going to have a real strong right-wrong capacity. Okay, it's like there's a right way and there's a wrong way on the inside. So this person needs to find a way that makes sense for them. They have to find a way that will make sense. Then what we've got with the path is how the karma shows up. So this person's path, they need to create strategies and structures. As they create new strategies and structures, what's going to happen is the karma. Okay, so in this particular case, as they make new strategies and structures, what's going to come up is grief and sadness and loss. It's like, oh my God, I could do this wrong. Oh my God, I could hurt somebody. Oh my God, something could go wrong. Oh my, you see how that kind of like, kind of thing is like that. So the path definitely shows you how the karma is going to show up. The destiny is where you want to be when you get past the age of 45. Now, in the old days, this would have been 35. So when I'm teaching, because in the old days sometimes you die by the time you're 45, right? So in the old days, 35 was considered kind of old, and especially if you got married at 12. Okay, so now I say 45, 50. It can be somewhere in that range, but you can have people that start to get towards their destiny number when they are 35. Okay, so. A destiny of 4, the 4 again is neutral mind, so Buddha consciousness, it's that Buddha number again. So again, this person wants Buddha consciousness. They want peacefulness, harmony, balance, win-win, cooperation. They want to be a mediator, a counselor, a negotiator, a diplomat, a harmonizer, a communicator, a win-win cooperative person. So this person wants to listen to this person's viewpoint, listen to that person's viewpoint, and bring the two together, right? And so they're always in the middle, and I could put them in front of a street person, and that street person's going to want to talk to them. I could put them on a plane, and then the person next to them is going to want to talk to them. Like, people are going to be drawn to this person, especially when they get around 45, because that person will feel to others as if they're neutral. Now, this doesn't mean this person feels neutral. It means other people think you appear neutral, okay? So it's always so weird because a destiny 4 could be saying, I'm having the worst day of my life. Why are all these people coming and talking to me? I'm having the worst day of my life. And I'm like, because you appear to be neutral. You don't have to feel neutral. You appear neutral to other people. You will appear as if you've got your act together more than other people in some way. So the 4 in this is that they're, again, a good career for this person would be mediation, diplomacy, counseling, social work, something like that. But notice how it all kind of works together really beautifully. This person's been listening and to confessions and people talking to them as a monk, nun, priest in many lifetimes. So they're probably pretty good at listening. They have figured out some strategies and structures and patterns from past lives that really worked, and they kept an overview and they figured out some structures. Now they're working on their own structures. They've got to address their own sadness, but they're going to have a tendency to draw in people that are in chaos and sad and upset, because if they deny their own upset, they will draw in upset. See how that works? It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. So, what'll happen, usually what happens is that this kind of person starts out and they're trying to help other people, and they're helping, wearing themselves out. They've got great structures and strategies. Everybody totally trusts them, but they don't have any time for themselves, and they get into this overwhelm. But then they have to find peace. And everybody thinks they're a great counselor and everything, but they have to find their own inner peace somehow inside of themselves. And it's not about what other people think, and it's not about helping other people. It's about how do you come to peace within yourself no matter what's happening in any situation or circumstance, right? So, and then the year tells you the temperament of the energy for a particular year. So in this particular case, this person at their birthday 2010 is going to be in a 9 vibration, and the 9 vibration is about completion. Now this 6, 7, 8 year, okay, so if I backed this person up, so 2009 was an 8, 2008 was a 7, 2007 like that. This person has been going through a cycle called the dark night of the soul. So a 6, 7, 8 year pattern, 3 years together, is called the dark night of the soul. It's a very intense, personally transformative time where you completely redefine yourself in some way. The 9 year means that they will feel like they're out of the hole, they're filthy, they're exhausted, they're muddy and hungry, but they're out of the hole. So they'll feel out of the hole, but it takes another year to just go, whew, just let that whole energy go in some way. So the 9 years, they're completing something. They're letting go of these things from the past that they've crawled out of the hole of, and they're coming into a very new place, which is cool. So now what I want to do is I want to go through, I want to do your birthday. And
oh, good.
She goes, oh, goody! Oh, goody!
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh, gosh, what is mine going to say? Yeah, it's really fascinating. This is where it gets so good. Okay, so now give me your birthday.
5/19 of 1968.
5/19 of 68. So we've got a soul of, if you add the 1 and the 9 together, you get a
20.
No. If you add 1 and 9, right?
Oh,
here,
10.
You get a 10. If the karma is,
sorry,
that's
karma
okay.
is the month, which is a 5.
Okay.
And
The gift is
that'd be
14, which is a 5. So if you add 1 and 4 together, you get a 5. So it's a 14, 5. And then the path, you add 1, which is a 6. And then the destiny, you add the whole thing. So we've got 10, 20, 34, 39, so that's a 39, 9, 10, 11, 12 is a 3. Did I do that right?
I'll trust you.
Okay, so let's see. So we got 10, 20, 31, 39, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a 3. Okay, and then the year we've got 10, 25, 26, 27. At your birthday, you are also in a 9 year. Okay, so let's talk about you. So, your soul number says that in your last lifetime, you were being the boss, the leader, the king, the general, the poobah, the head honcho, the top puppy. You were the head of the household. You were it. You made decisions that affected lots of other people. You were radiant, bold, strong, dynamic, courageous, gutsy. You were willing to take a risk. You jumped in where angels feared to tread. Okay, so it's really beautiful. It's really fabulous. So this is a ton of energy. It's a ton of vitality. It's a Xena warrior princess. So when you set your mind to something, it's like that samurai. By God, that's the way we're going, and God help the man who tries to stop you. And I mean, it's like, because you have more directionality and purpose and drive than most men. Okay, so if a man does not have a 10 in his numbers, you're stronger than him. Now this becomes a problem because it doesn't mean that you were male in your last lifetime, because an easy example of a 10 vibration is Queen Elizabeth I. She was a 10, she'll kick your ass, right? Same thing with Catherine the Great. Okay, so same thing, there's a 10 vibration. So, but it's strongly masculine. Okay, so because nobody was going to mess with either of these women. Okay, all right, so how it goes. So, but it's a strong masculine energy, and so relationship can be a real challenge because it's going to take a certain type of man that's going to like you. So the machismo men that are all this puff, but they're not really grounded in the reality. They're just like, you're going to do it my way, get me a beer, kind of like that. That's not going to work for you. You're going to be like, gotta go, and most of the time that man won't be drawn to you because you're going to look like too much work. You're going to look like way too hard for them to deal with. You are not a passive little yes woman.
No.
Okay. Then there's the other kind of men, which are the real conscious metaphysical kinds of guys that are really into yoga, and unless they've got a really amazing center or an incredible skill related to warriorship or physicality, or they've conquered something in their life, they're also going to feel weak around you. They actually feel kind of weak around you. So you need a particular type of man that loves a strong woman, and there are men out there, but they're kind of few and far between, because most men just want to do their own thing, and you are really this go for it, you're goal oriented, you want to get something done, you've got a lot of energy and momentum, you're like that train. If I say stop, you stop 5 miles down the track. I mean, you're a lot of energy, so you can't just kind of lollygag around, okay? And so you can't have a man that's like, I don't want to do the lawn today, I'm resting, it's like, you're just gonna hate that, right? So that 10 is a really strong force, and when you get a woman who has a 10-5 combination, that 10-5 combination is really strong. There's nothing more determined than a 10-5 combination if it shows up. And in a woman, it's a lot, it's like a double Xena, it's a double Xena energy, okay? So now here you are a Taurus, and you've got this karma of 5. And that karma of 5 is earth energy, and it's the karma of the wounded healer teacher. But notice that you have a gift of the wounded healer teacher. So you have a gift of earth energy, which means you're really good at earth. You are physical, and you're sensual, and you'll get things done, and you're one of those people that, you're the kind of person that on a battlefield, you were the warrior on the battlefield, still alive when everybody else is down, and you were pulling arrows out of your friends and cauterizing wounds with fire, and you were getting it done. Do you know what I mean? It was physical, it was practical, it was down to earth, you dealt with it. So with these numbers, you'd be great in a crisis. Shit hits the fan, you'd be great. Do you know what I mean? Because, with your numbers, you've seen crazy stuff. You've seen the toughest stuff, okay? So you don't get flustered. You don't want to hide in the sand. You're like, okay, this is what's happening, this is what we're going to do. Like if you came across a car accident, you'd be out of your car, grabbing towels, and doing something. You'd be doing something. You would not just sit there in some way, okay? So, so it's interesting when you have this gift of 5, because what you do really, really well is your karma in this lifetime. Now, you have to think of it like this, like, okay, why would I have a karma of something that's my gift? Well, the easiest answer is that oftentimes it's because something, when it's your gift, it's what you give to others. It's your gift. It's what you do for other people. So then it's like, can you give your gift to yourself? That's harder. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's actually harder. Yeah. So you have the answer to other people when it comes to, what they need to do. They have a problem. You read it crystal clear. You know exactly what they need to do. You tell them exactly what they need to do, and they do it, and it's great. But did you notice that what you told them to do is also what you actually need to be doing?